Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up, bye up, bye. In a Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. This dog does not want to leave my side, so we're just going to chill out. That's what we do. So, yesterday I watched the debate, right? And one of the things that jumped out to me was the absurd craziness of what Big Trumps said, right? Man, I think it took everyone by surprise. It was a little extreme. It was a little extreme when he said that immigrants were eating dogs, right? Right? Take a bite out of crime. Now look, different cultures eat different shit. That's the truth. Now, I don't know about immigrants eating dogs and cats and doing all that, man. But I will not say that it's not true. Okay? Because I've seen some motherfuckers eat some crazy shit. So, in fact, I, myself, have ate tacos de perro. That's the truth, right? And I know a lot of you guys are new to my channel and haven't seen some of my old stories and haven't caught up with that video yet. So, I kind of wanted to do a throwback and tell you exactly when I ate tacos de perro, right? Because Trump's saying that, you know, I don't know if it was, he said in Ohio, there was talk about them eating dogs. So I don't know if it was necessarily the Venezuelan gangs, because I know they're up out of different areas, but I know the Haitians immigrants are there. And I never heard about no Haitian eating a dog, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? But I know I have. And here's a story. So, you know, when I was an active gang member, man, I was really doing what I had to do. I was out there living and laying examples down, laying demos down, right? And I got caught up in a situation where I was active and I knew there was going to be dropouts at a club. And so we ran up in that club. I identified the target and I got off. I hit him in the head with a glass. And I've told that story before, you know, he was actually he was a Northern Rider. You know, he was from a dropout gang. And he had got out in the town, man, and he had been pushing a little weight and doing his thing. And he was playing a lot of homeboys out. They didn't know of his standings, but those of us that knew that, you know, we're in the know, we knew. So when I caught up with this motherfucker at the club, I got off where I was mad at. Facts, truth, right? And, you know, he walked into a police department and he put me on blast and basically was like, hey, Gunner from Merced, from Dead End. He's working with this group and that group and they're trying to hit all DOs and whatever he said, right? I still got the paperwork somewhere. But I was on the run. I was on the front page of the newspaper and, you know, a lot of people weren't fucking with me. A lot of the homies didn't want me around because I was, hey, you're hot, homie, you're hot. You know how it is. Oh, the homies, hey, they got love for you and all that when you're big balling and you're doing that. But when you're hot or on the run, there's a lot of homies that can't fuck with you no more. Like, nah, bro, hey, bro, you're too hot. My family, my kids, they lay their head right here, whatever, right? So I shot out to Oxnard at the time. I had a homeboy out there. And we went to go chill with them, me and a few other homeboys. Me and one of the homeboys, actually our face was on the front. That's how we found out our face was on the front page of the newspaper. He took us to the side. He was like, hey, look, bro, you're on the blast right here, Merced Sunstar. I was like, oh, shit. He was like, damn, they're on you. You know, the cops are on you. So I knew I was going to prison right off the top. I didn't know how long. I ended up ultimately getting 4 years out of that case. But anyways, I decided that for whatever reason, man, I was going to distance myself from all the homies because I didn't know who was telling. Right? So I had met a chick out there in Oxnard. I knocked the chick. It was actually my homeboy that lived right there. It was his old lady's college friend. She went to college. I knocked the chick. I've told you stories, man. I was out there. She gave me a fucking a Cowboys jersey to put on so I could blend in with Colonia, right? I was on the run. Man. I was trying to wiggle. So I was on the run in Southern California. Yes, indeedy. You know, I guess it is popping in Southern California because that's where I went, right? But then I ended up getting in contact with the other homie, the homie that had actually did the beef with me, right? Caught the case with me. And he was on the newspaper too. So he was like, hey, bro, let's go to my tia's house. She lives in Texas, in El Paso. So I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So, of course, the chick I had at the time, my main chick, not the one I was fucking with out of Oxnard, but my main chick, she used to run credit cards and do all kinds of crazy shit. So she was supporting us. So she bought us Greyhound tickets. You know, she was sending us money, Western Union. This is before Cash App. Before Zelle, Cash App, all that bullshit. It was Western Union. It wasn't no Walmart to Walmart, you see. it was Western Union to Western Union, right? So we're picking up money, $100 here, $200 there. So she was basically supporting the cause, right? We're wiggling. So when we made it to El Paso, we got there, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember we jumped off the bus. I had knocked some chick on the bus, got a big ass mamon right there on the Greyhound. I remember this black chick was looking at me like, hey, you're disgusting. And I was like, what's up? What's up with you next, right? So anyways, I was doing my thing. I didn't care. I'm on the run. I was going all out with the balls out, right? So we pull up there. The homeboy calls his tia. His tia is not there. So he finally gets a hold of her, and she's at his jefa's house. So while we were going to his tia's house, she didn't know we were on the run and we were pulling up. We were pulling up unannounced, right? She jams to Cali, right? So she's there at his jefa's house. So she's like, mijo, I ain't going to be back for a week or two. So we're stuck. We're broke. We only got like 100 to our name. Starving, hungry, on the run. Man, Northerners were doing bad, right? None of the homies looking out. We're calling homeboys. Are like, hey, bro, I ain't got it like that right now. I ain't got it like that right now. I ain't got it. You ain't never fucking got it like that, bro. Right? I was going to ask you to borrow some money. Shit. And so anyways, I tell him, hey, my abuelito lives over here in Juarez, right? We could just walk over. So I get a hold of him through my peoples. And he's like, yeah, I'll send someone to pick you up right there at the frontera, at the border. So bam, he sends one of his homies in a beat up ass Lincoln Town car to us. We give him a little gas money, whatever. He drops us off at my grandfather's house, right? We get there. My grandfather, he's old school, right? He lives in a place called Anapra. It's right there in Juarez, right? And the way that these houses are, and you got to understand, this was my first time in Mexico ever. You know, I had never went to Mexico. I ended up going another time to Zacatecas, but this was my first time ever in Juarez. The house was different. He had barbed wire in his house. He had these gates. Once those gates closed, you were locked in. It was like being in prison every night. You know, straight security measures. So I had already had a couple of homeboys that were on the run for an attempted murder. They were staying out there. And the homeboy that I was going with, my crimey, that was his brother and his primo. Okay, he didn't even know where they were at. He had no idea. Okay, so we get there, boom. Damn, bro, I didn't even know where you were at. Bam, big old family reunion. The homeboy's sitting there. I remember it's 3 in the morning now. The homeboy's sitting there watching Mac Dre videos, bootleg and shit. And so we're sitting there. They're happy that fucking we're there, you know, we're all on the run. It's whatever. And now it's fucking, we're doing the Norte thing, right? So he's kind of giving us the rundown of the situation. He already done knocked some chick. Her fucking family members are cartel. All kinds of crazy shit's going on. And so I told the story. I remember about 6 in the morning, a red truck pulls up. I'm out there smoking a frajo in Mexico. I went from doing dirt in California to now I'm in Mex on the run, right? True stories. And this fucking red Dodge Ram pulls up. These 2 vatos jump off, paisas, right? And they're like, who are you? They say in Spanish. So I tell him, my homeboy comes out. He speaks Spanish real good. So he's telling me, they're like, hey, are you guys here to rob people? What are you guys here for? What's your intentions? Hey, we're just here to visit my grandfather. We're on the run. We keep it truthful. You could tell these motherfuckers, and they were workers. They were actually part of the cartel. They were workers, right? So they tell us straight up, look, we don't know who you motherfuckers are. You guys got a couple weeks. If you're not out of here, we're going to kill you. Straight up. I'm like, oh shit. My grandfather's pissed. He's like, don't be bringing the mafia around here and whoop-de-whoop. He's mad at me. But anyways, we get in where we fit and we're staying there. So, you know, I've heard a lot of stories about Mexico, you know, but I'll be truthful with you. Juarez was popping at that time. There was cartel wars cracking. There was a lot of feds. The federal government was running around. There was just a lot of shit popping at that time, man. That was in 2006, right? A lot was going on. And so I remember I was hungry than a motherfucker. So I got a hold of that chick and I was like, hey, I'm doing bad out here. My grandfather, he only has cans of raviolis and shit. I'm hungry than a motherfucker. She was like, okay, let me send you some money. So she sent me some money. We went and picked it up. It was $150. I won't forget, right? And there was they used to sell bomb-ass hamburgers there. Hamburguesas. Mexican hamburgers hit different. Anyone who's been in Mexico will tell you. They're not like the fucking hamburgers you get over here at McDonald's. Okay, I'm loving it. Well, I'm not. These are the bomb ones, right? They go, hey, ¿quieres weenie? What? No, I don't like weenie. My name's not Adam A. Minor, right? No quiero weenie? No, fuck no, right? What he's talking about is hot dogs. They chop up hot dogs, put them on the hamburgers, bologna, all kinds of crazy shit, right? Hamburger would be about this big for $5. So I ain't gonna lie, I got addicted to those motherfuckers. I was smacking hamburgers back, minus the weenie, right? And no diddy. And so one day we're walking. Now, you gotta understand, my homeboy, he understands Spanish to the fullest. See, I don't. Not at that time. I understand a little bit more now, having done prison terms and all that. But prior to that, I come from a household where, yes, my jefa did speak Spanish. my tias did speak Spanish. There's a lot of Spanish-speaking people in my family. And I understood enough to, get over here, cabrón. I understood enough of that. I knew what a chancla felt like and how to spell it. But I didn't speak Spanish that fluently, right? So anyways, my homeboy's kind of the interpreter. So we're walking and we're going to go get a hamburger. And my homeboy's like, man, I'm tired of hamburgers. Let's get some tacos and shit. So I'm like, well, where do they got them, bro? There's a little restaurant down there, but that motherfucker's expensive. We had went, I got me a little fucking cocktail with shrimp. It was expensive though. And so he was like, hey, there's a fucking lady I seen over here. She sells tacos. This mob, right? His brother and his primo had told us about her. So we go there, and this is a true story. She has, so like her front of her house, there's a big ass window. And all she would do was slide open that window. She had like a comal right there. Like she was cooking tortillas. She had a big pot cooking, burners right there. Like she was doing it. She was hustling, right? Straight Mexico style. And so she had tacos. So she had tacos de carne asada and she had tacos de fucking, de this little motherfucker right here, right? But I didn't know. So my homeboy thought he was going to play a joke on me. So my homeboy's like, hey, you know what I mean? He was like, how many tacos you want? I said, how much? He said, bro, the cheap ones are like 10 cents. The more expensive ones are like 50 cents. So I was like, shit, well, run me like 10 of the cheap ones. You know what I mean? I'm trying to conserve like a conservative. So I'm like, run me 10 of those. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm about 3 tacos deep. Bomb! Best tacos I've ever had in my life. Tacos de gordo? Tacos de perro. You know, perro, straight up. Tacos de Fresno Bulldog. So I'm smacking my tacos. The homeboy's laughing. He's giggling to himself. And I'm like, damn, bro, where you get the coke at? You're all high and shit? You know what I mean? What's up? Where am I at? And he's laughing. He's smashing his tacos. He got the more expensive ones, right? And I'm thinking, damn, bro, I'm supporting this and you're getting the good shit. And I'm about 3 deep when he says, hey, and the lady's just watching us. She has no expression on her face. She ain't tripping. It's normal to her, right? And he's like, you know what you're eating, fool? I said, I don't know, but these motherfuckers are bomb, bro. Try one. He's like, nah, I'm good. And I said, well, what am I eating? He says, you're eating tacos de perro. And I know enough Spanish to understand what the fuck I'm eating, right? I said, bro, if you don't stop it, bro, stop it, right? And I asked the lady, ¿Quién es? ¿Tacos de perro? Sí, pues sí, right? That's all I needed to hear was pues. I spit that shit out and then I got to thinking, I'm broke, I'm in Mexico, this is different, no one's gonna know. Man, I continued to smash them. I couldn't tell the difference. I say that to say this. I ate them. I'm not going to sit here and describe what dog meat tastes like because I don't remember. The chile overpowered it. But I will say that I did that. Different cultures do different things. You know, she was trying to hustle, man. She's coming from poverty, real poor. So whatever she had to work with is whatever she had to work with. You got to understand, a broke motherfucker a beggar can't be a chooser, right? A broke motherfucker can't, you know, what am I going to say? Shit, I was over there eating fucking, you know it. Right now, you're going to open your cabinets. There's 2 boxes of Hamburger Helper. Don't act like you're all fucking high class, right? We know about the Hamburger Helper. So we're from the hood. So anyways, I smashed them. Anyways, yesterday when I was watching the Trump debate with Kamala Harris, right? And I seen him mention that, you know, a lot of people, even Kamala, she started laughing at him like, oh, this is very extreme. All weird, right? No, what's extreme is when Montel was breaking your back open. That was extreme, right? It's extreme how you got in the position you're in. That's extreme. But we're not going to sit here and slander anyone's name. I'm just going to say, when he started mentioning about immigrants eating dogs and shit, I was like, damn, bro, why you go that route? Why you put them on blast like that? But the truth of the matter is there are different cultures that do that. Let's be honest. And of course, Kamala was like, no, you don't understand. We talked to a city official who said that's all fake. You think a city official is going to tell you the goddamn truth? Shit. Trump was out there like, I was on the streets talking to real motherfuckers. They're like, hey, Rufus. Their dog was missing like a motherfucker, right? I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't put it past people to do that. Different cultures, to them, is normal. You know, I've met Asian homeboys that ate some monkey and shit. Mighty weird shit. I mean, things to us, as Americans, we'd be like, damn, bro, just go to the store. Well, a lot of these places don't have that option. They got to eat whatever they got to eat, right? And, you know, it doesn't mean they're bad or they're wicked or they're evil people because they're snatching up fucking Benji, right? It doesn't mean they're, you know, Lassie fucking, man, Lassie might taste good. I'm going to tell you right now, whatever dog I ate in Mexico, that motherfucker was 10.5 a key. It was pura. It was bomb. I'm going to tell you, I smacked every one of those tacos and went back the next day, which you know about that. because they were cheap and they were scrumdiddly bar. So I did that Willy Wonka style. But I will tell you the truth here. It's not something that's looked at as normal or condoned in the United States. But there's a lot of things that we do here in this state that they don't do in other states that they look at that is weird, right? You know, I know like in India and certain places, they don't eat certain meat because it's sacred, the cows and things like that. So you don't judge anyone by what they do. But to sit there and say, Trump's a cold-blooded character, right? They're even eating our dogs. Like, calm down, bro. That's a little too much. Trump, I fuck with you, but come on, bro. He's gonna make a hat that says, make America's dogs safe again. Oh, man, I don't know. I just know, man, over here they're pets. And I love my dog, but if this motherfucker acts too crazy, ¿sabes qué? You know what I mean? There's going to be, the menudo's not going to have patas de puerco. They're going to have these, you know? So, you know, if times are rough, you know, you never know. I might have to revert back to tribalism and fucking being indigenous and shit. I'm just saying, man, I have ate them. And for those of you that never watched my video, I was on the run. You know, I ended up ultimately leaving Mexico, and I had a few crazy stories there, man. I know some of you guys know the old stories, but I've seen some crazy shit. I've seen some shit like I've never seen in my life, and I was ready to go home. I was ready to turn myself in. After the shit that I seen in Mex, I was ready to turn myself in. I said, man, fuck that. And of course, we were being monitored our whole time there, man. That red truck kept passing back and forth, and even my grandfather was like, get the fuck out of here. And so we ended up leaving. I knocked a gang of chicks in Mexico, though. I ain't gonna lie. We went to a club out there in El Centro, right? Which is right there, downtown Juarez. And it was called La Playa. It was a tight ass club, man. And we went with, so one of my homeboys that was on the run there, he had a chick. And so the chick, her dad was somebody in the cartel. He was somebody, right? And she was a dual citizen. So she would go to school in Texas and in El Paso. And then she would fucking in college, right? And then she would drive over on the weekends and chill at her dad's. And my homeboy had knocked her. Not go to that. She was a little chunky, but she was alright, right? She had a prima that gave me dome from fucking deep down in Michoacan. Her shit was bomb. And we'd all kick it. So we ended up going to a club. And my homeboy's from Califa, straight northern, different. Man, he goes hard on a chick. He goes hard on it. He used to call her Torta. Come here, Torta, right? And she's different. She's all in love and happy she got to dude from California. And he's like, bitch, just suck my whole shit, right? He's different. So we're getting there, and the way he was treating her, I'm always like on my shit. So I'm like, hey, bro, don't be treating her like that, bro. Her dad'll fuck around and whip us and kill us and shit. He's like, nah, man, I ain't tripping off her. So we get to the club, and because of who she was and who her father was, it was VIP shots, drinks. It was tight at that club. I was knocking a gang of chicks down, right? It was just cool. But then my homeboy started fucking with this other chick, like dancing with her. And his chick got mad. She ended up leaving. And I'm going to tell you like this. The moment she left, we got kicked out the VIP area. Shots were very expensive. And them badass chicks didn't want us no more. I don't know what happened. She took even the chicks with her. That's how powerful those people are. So I seen some crazy shit, man. I told a story also. We're chilling. It's like, I've been there for like 2 weeks, right? I don't have dog taco breath anymore. And we got used to riding the ruta, which would be like 30 cents to ride the ruta, which was a bus. And you'd ride it right into downtown. And we used to go over there because me and my homeboy would get fades by these dudes out there called the B-Twins. They would do skin fades with the razor. They were tight. They did Daddy Yankee's hair, Eminem, all kinds. They were like world renowned, right? They had a little ass shop. So we'd go over there and get faded up. This is back when I had hair. When the struggle wasn't as real as it is now, right? And I remember the homie's chick, we had cell phones, and the homie's chick was like, she called me. And she was like, hey, where you guys at? Where's the homie at? And the homie had just got a job. He was working like at some paper mill place with the other homie because they were living there. And my dad had to pay my grandfather rent and shit. They were living there. We were just like there for a minute, right? And I was like, he's at work. And she was like, hey, I need your guys' help. We're over here at the ice cream shop. One of them dudes that like kicks it with you guys is following us around. And they were scared they were going to get kidnapped because, you know, the cartel man, they do that shit, right? So we're like, all right, where you at? And I was like, man, give me a scoop of Rocky Road. I'll be right there. So by the time we get there, we had to ride the ruta. And to get there, I'm telling the homie, hey, fuck your brother's old lady's fucking, she needs us, right? So we get there and she's all happy with ice cream and shit. I'm like, damn, what happened? She was like, fucking, oh, don't trip. My Theo came and that fool's gone. And I was like, all right, cool. He left it. She left you alone. She was like, nah, he's gone. I was like, what do you mean gone? She was like, yeah, he's gone. I was like, all right, right, whatever. I'll take 2 scoops of Rocky Road, portafas, make sure there's no dog hair in that shit. And so I'm doing my thing. Well, there's a fucking newspaper that comes out in Juarez. And in that newspaper, it tells you about all the murders and death and everything that's happened like the last couple days. And sure enough, if that motherfucker was on the front page of the newspaper like that, doing worse than that dog, right? And that's when I knew it was serious business. And it was at that point I told the homie, we need to get the fuck up out of here. And plus, these tacos are fucking my bowel movement up, right? I couldn't shit for days. I don't know what that dog ate, but whatever he ate, I ate too. With that being said, man, as far as Trump saying that, our Venezuelan gangs and all these people eating dogs, I don't know. We don't know what they're doing. But that's kind of fucked up to put that on him, right? But Devonta did that. He went extreme with it. He needs your vote. Straight. How about this? Crazy. Look at my dog. My dog's looking at me like, bitch, right? With that being said, up to Chamuswu with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle, the struggle to strive. What do you think? Leave me a comment. Do you think that these immigrants are really eating fucking pets and shit? Or do you think this is just something put out there, man? More propaganda to scare you into voting a certain way. I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Cultures do things different. I ate dog tacos. You know, I think I ate a cat too. That's a different story for a different day. Shout out to my Hmong homeboys. You know what I mean? The padette was bomb, but the meat was a little odd. The gun.